Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you to those that are in the chat. Thank you to those that are catching us live here in the studio. Hello, the best uni. It's great to have you here. Whoo, y'all have to pray for me today. If you've never prayed for me before, pray for me today. This topic here is a heavy hitter. It's a heavy hitter. It is something that I'm going through currently. And anytime you have to talk about something you're currently going through, it can be a doozy. So pray for you, girl, please. Just ask God to guide me and lead me through this one here. First of all, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to another exciting episode of Sown and Rooted. If you are unfamiliar with Sown and Rooted, just know this. This is the place where I, Kimberly Collins, the educated natural, your humble host of the show, gets to the root of issues. So if there is a root, this is the show that shines the light on it, digs it up if we have to, do whatever God leads us to do to help you live a life of freedom. Okay? You got me? Good. If you need information about the show where you can catch replays, all you have to do is visit any podcast or radio platform. There, do a search for Sown and Rooted, and you will see my lovely face on the banner. In the meantime, I want to welcome you to today's episode. In this episode, we deal with a pretty broad type of person. The person I'm referring to are narcissists. They're also known as, biblically, from my research anyway, they're known also as fools. F-O-O-L-S, fools. Those people. If you've ever had to deal with a fool, if you have ever had to deal with a narcissist, then what I'm going to share with you today, you can definitely say, absolutely, hallelujah, amen to. You see, a lot of people that fall into this category have the tendency to play one interesting game. And this game is called the blame game. In other words, they like to blame everyone except for themselves. And if you've ever had to deal with an individual or group of individuals, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've never had to deal with a narcissist or someone that exhibits narcissist behavior, then count yourself as blessed. Count yourself as one lucky individual. But there are those of us that God has allowed to take a different path in life. And for some reason, people think because you did not follow wherever they were trying to lead you, that they have this right to say whatever they feel they are big enough to say. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take the gloves off. We're going to take off our niceness hat, and we are going to uncover a few uglinesses that have been hid, or should I say, not talked about for many generations, at least in accordance to my experience. Now, before I even get started, let me go on and put this disclaimer out there, because with me comes a disclaimer. I play nice in the sandbox until provoked otherwise. I try to pray my way through a lot of things. I try to deal with things going through times of silence, not because I don't have anything to say, but it's to protect the fool. is to keep me from coming down on a narcissist level. It's to keep me from meeting them with the same energy and intent that they are desperately seeking. I'm sure you have heard the term misery loves company. Well, when it comes to the blame game, especially in the hands of a narcissist, this reigns true. They're always looking for someone to cast blame upon, but they never turn the mirror on them as the reason behind the issues that they may find themselves having to face. They never look in the mirror and say, you know what? This is my fault. Oh no, not a narcissist, not a fool. They are very quick to point the finger as to the reason why they are where they are is because of you. Well, today, after being quiet for over 40 years about a particular narcissist in my life, I can no longer sit here and be there or anyone else's doormat. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kim, what exactly do you mean 40 plus years? You see, every family, God help me through here, every family has individuals that are, should I say, pushed to the side, made excuses for as to the reasons behind their behaviors. And hardly ever does a person come out and say the truth. There are various reasons for that. Sometimes you look at the entire person and you look at who they are attached to, and you look at and you realize that you opening your mouth and spilling all the beans, especially on a narcissist, could blow up even larger. So you chose, for the sake of everyone involved, just to stay your distance and remain quiet until you were provoked otherwise. Let me give you an example before I get all the way into this. I'm going to tell you a story. Got time for a story? I hope you do. Imagine you and a friend, both young at the time of this story. You're walking down a road. And as you're going down this road, you notice to your left and to your right, there are numerous distractions happening. There are numerous things trying to get your attention, trying to pull you away from the road that God has you on. You are doing everything in your power to stay focused on what your assignment is. So you and this friend are walking down this road. Now, this friend is older than you. This friend is also the opposite sex than you are. So let's take me for an example, since this is my story. There's a girl, there's a boy. And there are other people here and there, but the story focused right now, today, on this girl and this boy. Let's keep it simple. And as you can tell by my energy today, I'm in a mood. And as I get into this discussion, you will understand why I am in a mood. To be quite honest with you, I'm still very angry. And you'll understand why. So here you are, me and my friend, walking down this road, female and male. They're older than me. So as we're walking down this road, we both notice there's this huge hole in the road. Now, common sense would tell you, you shouldn't be walking towards that hole. You don't know what's in that hole. You don't know what type of entrapments are in that hole. You don't know what's going to happen if you approach that hole. But all you do know is everything inside of you is telling you, take the detour that you see coming up on your left. So you reach over to your older individual that you're walking down the streets with, and you tell them, look, there's danger ahead. I think we should go this way. And that person looks at you and say, no, I'm the leader of this. I'm older than you. I know what's best. I want to see what's in this hole. Now, although you and them are on this road together, God gave you common sense. God gave you choice. And at this moment, you feel on your inside of you that keep going on this road is a bad decision. It's a bad idea. So you decide to try your best. Every step you both take down this road, you try to tell that other person, do not continue to walk on this path. It's a dead end road. It's danger ahead. I don't know what's up there, but it doesn't look good. Please come with me this other way. And that person decides, no, I'm going to go the way that I'm going. And because they're older than you, they kind of push you to the side. But along this road, I told you there are other people, and other people are trying to talk some sense into this older person. And this older person is still telling them, leave me alone. I know what I'm doing. So what is the girl supposed to do? Should she continue to follow this person? Not knowing where this person is leading them, but all she knows is what she feels on the inside, and everything in her is telling her that's not the person to follow. That's not the way to go. Or should she listen to the voice of God or to her own consciousness and that's telling her, take the detour? So what does she do? She decides, you know what? I'm going to listen to that voice on the inside of me, and I'm going to take the detour. I've tried to pull you with me. You've pushed me away. I'm going to go the way that I feel I'm supposed to go. So lo and behold, time passes. They're no longer children. Events happen. They barely see each other. The person, the older gentleman that decides to continue down this long, dark road, found what was in that hole. That hole was a trap that they continue to repeat cycle after cycle of the same thing over and over again. But in that person's mind, they think that what they are doing is right. They think that everybody else that's telling them what they're doing is wrong is wrong. They never accept accountability for the decisions that they have made in their life that has landed them in this pit. But they never hesitate when they're in this pit, in all types of situations, dangers, entanglements, snares. They never hesitate to pick up a phone, send a text, write a letter to that little girl that was on the road with them for a season, to tell that little girl how wrong they are because they refuse to be an enabler to their foolishness. So tell me, is the little girl wrong for continuing to finish school, to continue to further her education, so that she can be knowledgeable enough about the world around her, since she did not have that older male to direct her anymore, to protect her anymore, to lead her anymore, to guide her anymore? Is she wrong for choosing a better path for herself? Is she wrong after furthering her education, committing herself to her career, getting married, having children, starting her own family, trying to be the best person she can be? Is she wrong because she refuses to continue to listen to the lies that come out of the mouth of this narcissist? Is she wrong that she looks that narcissist in the eye and she says, listen, I love you, but now I need you to love you, and stop repeating this cycle? Haven't you had enough? We're all adults now. We're not children. We're adults. Can you not see you're wrong? But upon further examination, the girl, now grown woman, has realized that she's not dealing with a normal individual. Oh no, she's dealing with a narcissist. And if you are not familiar with the term narcissist, narcissist has a pretty interesting, let's say, definition. Narcissist basically means, give me a second. Oh, I can't put it on the screen. Oh, that's right. I can't put it on the screen this way. All right. I'll just read it to you. How about that? This is hard, y'all, because it's just hard. But flow with me. A narcissistic person, if they were to go to the doctor and get it professionally diagnosed, it would fall into the category of narcissistic personality disorder. And what that is, it's known to cause certain symptoms. These individuals love admiration of themselves. They have a high tendency to disregard the feelings of others. They have this inability to handle or accept or admit any type of criticism from other people. They have this strong sense of entitlement. So let me go further. Whenever a narcissist person finds themselves in a situation, it's never their fault. They always avoid taking any type of responsibility in any situation they find themselves in. It's always someone else's fault. You may hear them go all the way back to their childhood and say things like, well, if my mama would have done this, I wouldn't be where I am today. If my father would have been in my life, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in today. If this family member, or if a coworker, or if this, or if that, it's always an if something else they wouldn't be. When the truth of the matter is, in the United States, when the person turns 18, you qualify as an adult. You are a full-fledged adult by the time you hit 22 or 21. So up until that age, you can pretty much put a little bit of the most of the responsibility on your parents or those that are raising you, your guardians or whatever. But once you cross into that age of maturity, that blame goes to you. Every decision you make is your fault. It's your responsibility to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I can't blame this on mama. I can't blame this on daddy. I can't blame this on my social media people. This one right here, I did that. Thank y'all so much. Madam, let me pause right there. Thank y'all so much to my live studio audience supporting me today. Thank y'all for being here. I see each and every one of you. Thank you. God bless you. You could have been anywhere else, but you are right here. Thank y'all for being here. But I need y'all to understand something. If you're feeling me, go ahead. If you're live in the studio, leave me a comment so I can see it. Because today I have to be honest with you. I'm tired of being this particular person's doormat. When my mother gave birth to me, I was not a doormat. I don't live outside of a house where people wipe their feet on before they enter into the home. But to the mind of a narcissist, everybody's a doormat, especially if you try to tell them that word they absolutely hate. And yes, I know hate is a strong word, but let me tell you from personal experience. A narcissist hates the word no. You can tell them whatever you want. You can tell them, look, I can't help you right now because I am in the hospital. They say, so you going to the ATM and give me some money? They don't care about you or what you're going through. Matter of fact, In my case, they never even asked how you doing, anything you need. Because mind you, even in my story and even in reality, this individual is older than me and made it clear to me that because they are older than me, I'm supposed to do what they say when they say. And I would think that as old as they are, they would know better. Because there's one thing about me, I have never been their enabler. You see, my mother raised me old school. And she raised me that a man that don't work, don't eat. And she raised me that it's okay to help people every now and then, especially if you see them trying to help themselves. But the problem with this particular narcissist, they've never helped themselves. They've never taken responsibility for anything they have done, anything they have said. And Lord behold, they've never even apologized to those they have hurt along their journey with every single decision or choice they made. They're like, close your eyes to everything I have done to you and just give me what I want. And it's ridiculous. And I literally have sat quiet, like I said earlier, for over 40 years, dealing with someone else's foolishness. And today I am done. Why are you done, Kim? You see, recently, that older gentleman has found himself in trouble yet again. And this older gentleman has decided to write me letters. Oh, I have receipts. To write me letters. The first letter I received came in August. After I wrote them, when I found out they were in trouble, I wrote them because, like I said, I love them. I wrote them expressing to them my disappointment as to where, yet again, they found themselves. They, in their narcissistic fashion, wrote me the first letter, cursing me out for even daring to call them out on their crap. Okay, that was the first letter. Now, my mother always taught me, when a person shows you who they are, take off your blinders, baby, because that's who they really are. And if you've been around a moment, have you ever seen celebrities or famous people we see on TV say something, and those that hear it get really irritated and really all up in arms, but then later their publicist or PR person will come out there and they'll say, no, you can't say that, or that's not politically correct. You need to go back and fix that so that the live people in the world can forgive you, and you don't want to mess up your money and blah, blah, blah. So they come back with what? This apology. Well, that's what happened in this case. Because after they cursed me out the first letter and I didn't respond back, they sent me another letter. This time it was an apology, and I quote, apology letter. Because if you've been around any time on this earth, you can smell crap before you even get to it. And since I don't curse, I'm going to say crap, but you can fill it in however you want to. So when I read the letter, I realized this person has something up their sleeve. This is that old PR stunt, because the issue is they need help, my help in particular. So anybody know, if you need help from somebody, you can't come at them with the wrong energy if you're trying to get whatever it is you're trying to get. But in this person's case, they showed their hand. Now, I've known this person, like I said, pretty much all of my life, and I know them enough to know when they're playing games. And I've never been a game player. Even now, you can ask anybody in my household, they'll tell you, I don't even have games on my phone. That's how serious about what I do I am. So when I read the letter, I took it like you take any other kind of crap somebody throws at you. So I sat there and I said, God, I always go to the Father first. And I said, Father, help me deal with this particular person in this particular situation. Because on the inside, I knew they playing games. So lo and behold, a few days ago, I went to my mailbox, y'all, and I received this letter right here. Just a few days ago. It's been a week. Matter of fact, I looked at the calendar. It's been a week. And I don't know if you've ever received a package, a letter, or something in the mail, and as soon as you touch it, you like, and you see who it's from, you go, this is about to be an interesting one here. You haven't even opened it yet, but you realize who it's from, and you realize this is about to be one for the record books. And I grab my mail, I get back to my car, my daughter is sitting in there, and I said, you know what? I wish it was a chick. I told my daughter, I said, you know what? This is about to be some mess right here. I just felt that in my bones, y'all. So I get home, I did a few things at home, and I said, oh, let me open that letter. I opened it. I didn't get a hello. I didn't receive a how you doing. I received every curse word, every derogative term you could say to a person. I received all sorts of commentary from him that let me know right then and there, it's time to cut your branch from this tree. It's time to do what the Bible says. See, the Bible says, if your right hand offends you, cut it off. Now, I'm not about to cut off my actual hand, because it's not my actual hand that's causing the issue. It's this individual. You see, this individual, because I read their words, caused me to become so angry. Every bit of venom that could have come out of their mouth that they put into this letter was there. How are you going to call yourself checking, according to their words, me, when you can't even check yourself? If I can put it how my mother would put it, she would say, you don't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of. So who are you to tell me anything? But because I did not respond to your foolishness, because I did not give in and become an enabler like some other people in your life, now I'm the bad person, because I won't give you what you want. Because as I see it, you had every opportunity not to find yourself yet again in this same cycle that you yourself constantly fall into. But I wish I could tell y'all this was the first series of commentary that this person decided to send me. No, you see, last year, this person went from, hey, how you doing? Love you. I love you, love you, love you, to all of a sudden, when I told them no, then about something else, they cursed me out again. They called me bougie. They even had stuff like, you bougie, you think you better than me? You need to get the bleep off your high horse. They just went in. And I'm like, yo, all because I told you no? Wow. You see, narcissists don't care who they hurt. They don't care about your feelings. They only want what they can get. They are takers. They will take and take and take as long as you keep feeding them. And throughout my entire life, I never fed them because I knew that they would never take what you give them and use it for the betterment of them. You only hear from this particular person when they need something. Never do they come and apologize for anything. They never sit down and have a realistic conversation with you about anything. It's always, yo, I need, send me this, send me that. They never ask you what you need, but it's always give me, give me, give me, give me. And as the old saying goes, Gimme got his neck broke. These letters, you just broke your own neck. Because the only reason I even have entertained this individual, it has nothing to do with the bloodline that we share. Nothing at all. It has nothing to do with the fact that I've known them all my life. Nothing at all. The fact of the matter is this. My mother, when I was 17 years old, was laying on what ended up being her deathbed. And before she lost consciousness, she grabbed me by my hand. She looked me in my eye. And without giving you too many details as to what she asked me to do, she pretty much asked me to not turn my back on two individuals that she held dear outside of myself. Now, one of them I knew would be easy. The other one I knew would be a serious challenge. And this happens to be the one that in their own infinite wisdom decided to write me letters. Okay. I was faithful to that promise that I made to my mother. All the way up until that last letter. That last letter irritated me to my core. That last letter showed me how this person truly felt about me. That last letter pretty much let me know that this person has a serious superiority complex. This person seriously thinks that no matter what they do, they are always right. And there is nothing you can say to them to convince them otherwise. You can go outside and say, oh, it's a nice sunny day. That person will come in here and argue you down and tell you that it's raining. That's how much right in their own mind they truly believe that they are. Even though they are wrong as two left shoes, in their mind, they're right. So even if I was to reply back to these letters and tell them how wrong they are, explain to them how it made me feel, and just go and meet their energy like I truly, really, really, really want to, but because the God in me is telling me, hold your mule, hold on, sit down, Kim, don't meet that energy, because trust me, if it wasn't for my brother, whom I called when I got this letter, because I was just that mad. If he wouldn't have been able to talk me down, and if the Holy Spirit would have been able to calm me down and keep me where I am, I'm telling you, I would have caught a flight. And they would have looked up and been looking me dead in my face. But because of this virus, I'm being honest with you, because of everything that's going on in the world, and because of where they are now, I can't get to them. All I can do is go back and forth with them through letters, and I'm not doing that. So to keep me where I am and to keep this thing from escalating, I've decided to no longer be in any type of connection with them. I'm done. I told my brother, I said, I'm done. I looked up towards heaven and I said, Mama, you passed away and you left this world in 1993. And even you wouldn't take this. You didn't take it when you were living. So I know you wouldn't take this. I have done everything I can do. But this here day, I'm done. Don't ask me about them. Don't tell me about them. I'm done. I'm not reading another letter. I don't even care. Because if you and your narcissistic ways have enough time to say that those things you said in that letter, then my friend, you can handle everything else. You good. The best way to handle a narcissist is tell them, you know what? You right. You got that. You right. Go ahead on. Because you can't convince them otherwise. So I'm going to protect my peace because that disturbed my peace. That's right. Enough is enough. Cut off. And I have tried for over 40 years to hold on. Even though they were wrong, I still never said to anybody. I never told them what was going on. I kept it to myself. Because like Mama always said, what happened in the house stays in the house. So I kept my mouth shut. I moved across the country and across the world. I spent a lot of years overseas. I did my own thing, followed my own path. I stayed out of other people's business. But when you write letters to me and you come out the side of your neck and then still have the audacity, you all, to try to lay a weight on me that's not mine to bear, I drew the line. Can you imagine somebody that you know, y'all might be tight, y'all might be kind of just cool, regardless. They find themselves in a situation. They write you a letter and they cuss you completely out because you told them no, or because you weren't an enabler unto this foolishness that they've done for most of your life. But because they feeling themselves, decide to not only curse you out, but then tell you if you don't do what they are demanding you to do, then it's your fault if they spend the rest of their life in trouble. Ain't that about something? So not only are you going to curse me out, not only are you going to call yourself checking me, when by the way, you haven't even been around me most of my life, but then now you want to write this letter, these letters, telling me that now your burden is going to become my burden because of something you chose to do. How does that work? What planet do you live on? That's not how this works, boo-boo. Whatever decision each and every one of us makes, it's either going to breed you something positive or something negative. And if it's going to breed you something negative, 9 times out of 10, you probably know. You know, if you go to a store and you steal, it has consequences and repercussions associated with that. Nobody has to tell you that. You know that because it's illegal to steal. If you go and you stick up somebody, you know that's illegal. If you get caught by the police and they lock you up, that's nobody's fault but yours. It's not my fault. It's not your cousin's fault. It's not the police officer's fault for doing his job. So how is this burden gonna now be mine? It's not. So I have everything I need in these letters to let me know that I am not what they need in their life no longer. Now, what other people do, that's on them. But let me tell you something. If you are enabling a narcissist, you're the problem. Because you continuing to give into their foolishness It's not giving them a real reason to straighten up and fly right. If you're continuing to feed them, meet their demands, you're not giving them a real reason to get themselves together. Because in their mind, they're thinking, I can do whatever I want to do. And I know that you always got my back. You're feeding the issue. See, a lot of you, thank you, Holy Spirit. Didn't think about it like that. No, I did not. No, I did not. I just thought about something. On one hand, you have the narcissist that's a taker, and they will bleed you dry. But on the other hand, you have the enabler, the one that keeps feeding into the narcissist demands. But has anybody ever thought why the enabler does this? Maybe the enabler is a person that thrives on being needed. Maybe that's why people don't have a problem with feeding a narcissist, giving into their craziness, doing whatever they ask you to do, even though it's putting you in a bad situation. You're just going to keep feeding. Maybe it's because you yourself would like to blindly tell yourself, well, I'm all they have. When the truth of the matter is, they had a lot. But over time, people got tired of getting burnt. People got tired of being slapped, because narcissists are skilled people that will slap you and then clap at the same time. Oh, I love you, because that's what these letters are. The first letter was a slap. Curse me out. Second letter, I love you. You're the only person that I'll change my behavior for. I love you, and it's all me and you against the world, and all of this craziness and this apology letter. That was the. Let me get back on her good side. I know she mad because she didn't write me back after the first one. I know she mad, so let me clap her. Let me clap. But then no sooner than I got the second letter, I received the third letter, which was a punch. He went from slapping to punching me. And I'm over here like, are you serious? Have you forgotten who I am? You see me, I see you, we see each other. Is this really what you want? Because see, you spit venom, I'm the antivenom. You want to start a fire, I will cause a whole bomb explosion. This isn't who you want to irritate, but obviously they are, because narcissists love the back and forth. I don't do back and forth, because I know the power that I hold. They should know the power that I hold. Because there was a season a few years ago when this same individual went MIA. And all those people, yep, I'm about to step on some toes, I don't even care. He went missing. And all these people throughout my whole life, he kept saying, these my peeps, those my peeps. Not one of them lifted a finger to find him. But do you know who they did lift a finger to find? Me. My phone ringing. Either from them or people that know them. Hey, have you heard from this person? Have you heard from this person? Have you heard from this person? My response was, no. They usually call you, or they usually call that person. They never call me until they need something. So, because I love them, while everybody else went on about their lives, didn't lift a finger to do nothing, I called my resources, because I know people that know people. Thank you, Jesus. I pulled my resources, launched a formal investigation, found them in a whole nother state from where I was. They were across the country. Found them. Got them on the phone. Talked to them. You all right? I want to make sure you know you're not dead lying on the side of the street somewhere. You good? This person was missing for a whole year. Whole year. I found them. I didn't have to. I could have did what everybody else did that you claim that love you so much. You cared them, your peeps. Your peeps did nothing. But then you have the nerve to continue to step on the one that you truly need, that has the resources to help you. But because your mouth, in this case, your letters, wrote a check, your behind can't cash, I figure, you know what? You can do the crime, you can do the time. It's not on me. See, I didn't have to cuss you. I didn't even have to make a phone call to make your life real, real bad. Because, see, that's the energy I was on. This is how far they had pushed me. But I refuse to be a pawn in the enemy's blame game. The enemy has been using this particular individual for years because they were determined to see what was in that hole. They left a lot of carnage throughout their life. They neglected a lot of people that they never should have. They hurt a lot of people along and throughout their life. And to be at the age they are now and still be pulling these foolish games, I don't have time for it. Because the truth of the matter is, although my mother asked me not to turn my back, I didn't. They turned on me. And because they turned on me and decided to go completely crazy in this letter, the things that they said, I'm gonna bow out. I'm gonna let their peeps take care of them. I'm gonna let their peeps help them. I'm gonna let God take care of them. I've prayed for this person all of my life. What you don't know is that from a little girl, I've stood in courtrooms pleading, probably between the age of 5 and 7, in front of a judge to not throw the book at them when they were younger. And that particular judge made me a vow. He said, I'll let him go because of you. But if I find him in my courtroom again, there is nothing you can do. Not even 3 days later, he ended right back up in there. It has been this continual cycle that honestly I'm tired of. I've bore as much as I can. But like my former co-host used to say, sometimes you have to feed people with a long handle spoon. Sometimes you have to let the decisions that they make, you have to let them face those repercussions and consequences. I've prayed for years, every court case, every charge, from since I was a little girl for this person, over and over again, my whole life. I've stood in the wing, praying, interceding on their behalf, asking God, have mercy. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Father, change their mindset, change their heart, protect them. But every day, every week, every month, every year, this person just wouldn't change. These letters did something to me. It caused me to see the person that I've known was there all along, but my eyes just didn't want to see it. I wanted to protect them. I was hoping that if I took the lead, even though they're older than me and they should be taking the lead, I decided, you know what? I'm younger. So if I take the lead and I leave a great path for them to follow, just maybe they'll see something in me And they'll say, you know what? Let me let you lead and let me follow you. Since me leading myself has led me in this cycle, let me do something different. But no, it never happened. Instead of them completely being on my side, I was called outside of my name. They literally called me everything but the B word, to be honest with you, in this letter. I truly believe this is why God has me in as much distance away from them as I am. Because honestly, I would probably have an assault charge right now if I would have been closer to them. Y'all know those movie scenes where people be paying off people. I ain't gonna say that. I was on one. I'm telling you, they had me on one, but I thank God for Jesus. Because the more research I did, the more reading of God's word that I have done, especially this last week, it truly let me know what and who I'm dealing with. This person has been a fool, still is a fool, acting a fool, being foolish. This narcissist behavior of theirs, as far as I can see, has taken its toll on me, and I'm bowing out. So they can call whomever else they need to call. But calling me after this mess? Nah. Someone asked me, my real close friends, they asked me, they said, if I told them, because they noticed that my attitude had changed. And it's kind of a lot of the reason why you guys hadn't seen me on camera, because I was on one. They asked me, they said, well, what if he writes again? What are you going to do? Exactly. Let God handle it. Because I'm telling you, some things we can't handle. We have to just let God, I'm lifting this up to you. I'm casting this care on you. And they asked me, Kim, what would you do if they wrote you again, or if they would call, what would you do? I said, I would do what you do when you go to a website, your computer, your phone, and you don't know the code. What does it tell you? Access denied. Incorrect PIN. When you go to your bank and you try to draw out money that's not there, what is that little note on the ATM machine receipt? Insufficient funds. You no longer have access until God shows me otherwise. Right now, no more access. I have to protect my peace. You disturb my peace by putting your true feelings in these letters. All because I told you no. But then to demand and then to bring up other people as if I owe them anything. I've never asked anybody for anything. Everything I ever have, I'll work my butt off to earn it. I've never asked this person for anything. They've never been there to give anything. You know, it's hard for a person to give when they don't have, and I never held that against them. I love them. But now I feed them with the long handled spoon. I pray that God continues to watch over them. And as the Bible says, may God watch between me and thee while we are absent from one another. But I will not be an enabler for them. And I know what people are going to say already. I can just hear it because I received the same type of feedback, especially from those I share blood with. They're going to sit there and say, oh, that's your family. No. Oh, no. We may share blood, but this person, the way they talk to me, trust me, if you knew what was in these letters, you would cut them off, and you wouldn't even know them personally. You wouldn't even take this. So if you think I'm going to just bend over and take this, not going to happen. Every action has a reaction. My reaction is the safest one I can give at this moment, and that's to go MIA from them. Is to separate me from them. Exactly. We're related. We're not family. I'm like that with several people. I have had that argument ever since I was a little girl with my mother and with my grandmother. We always went back and forth on the word family. I'm like, no, we're related, but are we really family? That's still out for discussion. That's out for debate. But in this case, if you find yourself at any point in your life having to deal with a narcissist, I need you to understand something. Narcissists never believe that they are wrong. In their mind, they are always right. Narcissists never take responsibility for themselves, any decision they make, any situation they may find themselves in. They never take responsibility or accountability for any of it. It's always someone else's fault, someone else's responsibility. And let me tell you from firsthand experience, the only person on this earth you owe is yourself, your children until they reach the age of maturity, and your spouse if there be one. But at the end of every day, you owe you. It's your job to take care of yourself and not place that responsibility on anyone else. I had to learn, although my mother made me promise her the promise that I agreed to. This week, I had to really look at myself in the mirror and say, Kim, is that individual really your assignment? Because like many people, I thought because we were related, they're my assignment. Truth be told, maybe not so. I did my part. My mother left this world in 1993. It's 2021. That's a long time. And this is actually the month my mom was passed away and was buried. In a few days. And they have to deal with this foolishness now. You know, fools are interesting people. You're right. A lot of people don't understand the concept of family. They don't. But in this case, this individual will have a lot of time to think. I won't take the blame in this. I was not there. I didn't tell them to do whatever they're being accused of doing. It's not my burden to bear. I can love them to death, but I can't be an enabler to this. And if this is causing some of those that are going to watch this that are related to me or related to them, or however you want to see it, which means they're still related to me, right? I know that sounds crazy. If they got something to say, we could have that conversation. Because initially I was like, I don't want to hear it. Can't nobody tell me anything. I ain't trying to hear it. When it comes to them, you can't tell me nothing. I'll hear you. I'll listen to you. And we can have that conversation. But the truth of the matter is you're not going to talk the truth when it comes to this individual. Save yourself some time. I've known them all of my life. I've watched them. I've been around people like them. This is not my first rodeo with a narcissist. This is just the first time with them I actually saw it for what it was. Love blinded me. And I can no longer be a part of this game that they're playing. They're going to have to play with someone else. You're not playing with Kim. My love for them is still there, but I can't be the one that they step on anymore. There are some people that would accept this behavior. There are some people that can make an excuse for this behavior. I'm not one, and they know I'm not. This person actually, a few years ago, when we reconnected, told me that the individual I'm talking about, the narcissist, they told me that they were almost afraid of me. because they weren't sure how I would react to certain things. And we chalked it up, we laughed about it, we talked about it. It was good. It was a good conversation. But it puzzles me that out of all the years we've known each other, why they would go to this level to be this disrespectful to me. When the truth be told, because I made some phone calls to their peeps and people that know their peeps. If you were to put us all in a room today, I'm the only one that could possibly help them. But yet, I'm the only one that received these, laced with profanity, laced with disrespect. So let me ask you, my listening audience, if someone related to you decided to cuss you out, and at the same time, out of the same mouth, decided to ask you for something that pertained to financial, would you help them? What would you do? What would you do? I want to know. And for those of you that's going to hear this on the podcast, leave me a comment. I really would love to know. Inquiring minds wants to know. What would you do if someone you're related to, that you love, that you have sacrificed for, that you have helped, that you just care about, asked you for something, and you told them no, and you've told them no in the past, and they know you're going to say no before they even ask, but they keep asking anyway. What would you do? Would you continue to give because you know they're going to take? Would you continue to give? And while you're answering that, tell me in the comments, those of you that's live in the studio audience, tell me, am I wrong? If I'm wrong, Father, forgive me, lead me to another way. But am I wrong for telling this individual, no, I'm not going to be your enabler. No, I'm not dropping that type of cash for you. No, I'm not doing that because you know better. And then because I said no, you want to sit there and cuss me out. Am I wrong for my reaction? Because I'm going to tell you, it could have gotten really bad. If I wasn't saved by the grace of God, I'm telling you, he think he's bad in the bad situation now. Oh no, it would have got a lot hotter. But because I love them and I love those that are related in various ways to them, I kept my mouth shut. I didn't make those quite interesting phone calls I could have made. Because if you think I had resources to find them in a whole nother state that I've never been to, what do you think I could do now? I have relatives that will tell you they think I missed my calling working for the FBI because I find people. I find information when I want it. When I don't care, I don't care. I don't care what you do. I don't care where you at. But when you show me you, I believe that. He showed me him. I believe it. This is you. These are the same types of behaviors you have exhibited throughout my whole life. It just never came back and hit me in the chest. But now that you've decided to turn your weapon on me, that's where you messed up. You could have kept all that energy everywhere else. Let everybody else deal with your toxicity. But when you bring your toxicity over here, you start spitting venom over here, I'm going to take your head off. But instead of me doing that, I'm bowing out gracefully and telling you, know what, you're right. You got it. Go ahead on. You got it. You can sit there and say, no, I need your help. Too late, bro. Too late. You struck a match and set the wood on fire. The roof the root on fire. I'm not sending you the water. I'm going to let it burn. Exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stacy. Shut them down. Love them from a distance. Exactly. If shutting a narcissist down, if it's shutting a person that's draining you, if shutting down a person that's going to cause you in a reaction to sin, because that's what was going to happen. God would have been in heaven like, she obviously do not know me. She has crossed over to the dark side because I was going to meet that energy. Trust me. So I wanted to protect my peace because I didn't want to sacrifice everything that I worked so hard to build, to deal with their foolishness, to get in the ring with them. I'm not going to feed that. I'm not going to feed into that. I'm going to let them have it. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got it. Because it's safer for them that way. They are in a place now where their future is in the hand of a whole system, a system they are quite familiar with. And that's the road they chose to take. It is not my burden to bear. It's no one's burden to bear. So for those enablers out there that's giving into this type of behavior, stop. Sometimes God will put us in places and in positions so that he can deal with us. I truly believe this is where God is going to step in there and finally deal with them. Because all the venom they've spit at me, I'm done. They have much deeper issues than I can take care of, than I can handle. This is deeper than me. It is above me now. Because truth of the matter is they have written a check they behinds can't cash. And I'm not going to help them cash it. Not my job. If they were working and doing something positive for themselves and completely started to turn their life around and start taking personal responsibility and accountability and was trying to really help themselves, got it. Cover you. I got it. I'm with you. We down like 4 flats. I got you. But the moment you decide, because you can't get your way, to start doing this right here, you just put yourself in between a rock and a hard place. And I don't have a shovel to help get you out. You don't need my shovel. You don't need my help. You don't need my assistance. You don't need anything. According to that last letter, you said F me. And it wasn't forgive me either. You said it several times. That's what you said. I'm just using your own commentary to me back at you. That's all I'm doing. Yo, I'm not going to continue to put my hand out there for it to be hit. My face out there for it to be hit. No. So I thank y'all for being with me, because there are going to be some people when they see this or hear this, they're going to say, oh, Kim is supposed to be a Christian. Kim is so wrong. Oh, that's not godly. I can just hear it. But the Bible clearly says that a fool is completely against instruction. Matter of fact, I tell y'all what I'm going to do. I'm going to read something to y'all real quick. Let's see here. I thought I saw it on here. I believe it's Proverbs 12. 12 and 15. Proverbs 12 and 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. Yep. Yeah. And I really don't see them listening to anybody's advice. Not at all. They're in their own head. They're always right. They don't want to hear what your criticisms are. They don't want to hear the real truth. They object the truth because in their minds, they're right. So there's nothing I could say to this individual to change their mindset about how they're wrong or about anything. Because I've tried that. That was what the first letter for me to them when I found out they were in trouble. That's the letter I wrote. I said, look, you can do better than this. You're better than this. Aren't you tired of this? This is how what you're doing has affected everybody. And I got in return, when I tried the nice way, when I tried to help them, I got cussed out as a result. Who are you? How dare you? You bleep, 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 bleep. That's all I got. I said, oh. So no, for those of you that asked me, did I write them back? No, I did not. After that first letter, that was enough for me. He kept writing. So I can't give into this type of behavior any longer. I've done it long enough. It's not helping. He's never going to apologize. He's never going to take responsibility. Doesn't seem like he's ever going to take accountability for anything he's done, those he's hurt along his life, throughout his life. It's not going to happen. But I will continue to pray for them and cover them because the Bible says what we're supposed to do for each other anyway. I will continue to love him because it's what we're supposed to do anyway. I just don't have to be involved in any more of his foolishness. I pray that God watches over him, keeps him safe. I pray that the judges or judge or jury or whomever, however this thing goes for them, I pray that God has mercy. You know, God has worked miracle after miracle throughout all of our lives. And I don't see this being any different. I believe that God can do all things. I believe that God right now could speak to his heart and change him in the blink of an eye. And he could be a complete changed individual. That's how much I believe God for. But all I have right now are these letters that are showing me it has not happened yet. The enemy is still driving that vessel. And I can't be unequally yoked in this relationship with that individual. I can't be unequally yoked with them like that because it's weighing on me. It's pulling me out of focus of the things I need to be focused on. So y'all continue to pray for people. Pray for those that you are related to that may be going through some type of issue, situation, making bad decisions, seem to be in some never-ending cycle. Pray for them. But also remember, your peace has value. Your relationship with God has value. So continue to pursue that and know when it's time to wash your hands and let it go. Thank you guys for being here. Before I close out, I really want to thank my live studio audience. Thank you, 755 Media, for being here. Thank you, Miss Taryn, for being here. Thank you, Fidel. Thank you, Carlos Los in the building. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Stacy, for being here. Who else do we have? Thank you so much, Tanisha. Thank you. Thank you. I am not wrong. Thank you. I am not above that. If I'm wrong, please explain to me and help a sister out. But I wanted to come on and just share this with you all. Who else do I have to give a shout? I don't want to leave anybody. Let's see. Oh, wow. Thank you, Arian. Oh, my goodness. Where have you been? Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Seek Paris. Listen, if you are on social media, I need you to look up either 12 Gone Apparel. You can look up Seek Paris. You can look up Squad Creatives Podcast on YouTube. And here's what I want you to do. There is a very important video on that channel where Mr. Seek Paris shares his story as it pertains to the Pfizer vaccine. You need to watch that episode. There are clips circulating around the internet. Please watch those episodes. It's very informative. Who else do we have here? I need to make sure. Thank you, Mrs. Annie Harden, for being here. Thank you for being here. The best unit you already know. Thank you for being here. Who else do we have? I want to make sure, of course, you already know Marcella's Way. You make sure you guys go out and check out Marcella's Way. She just launched her website. So make sure you head over to YouTube, subscribe to her channel, and support her. And make sure you get your Mini Teens Customs and Prints. Go to miniteenscustomsandprints.com to support her and get your orders in. You do not want to miss out on that. Let's see. Anybody else in the live studio I may have missed? Wave your hand. Put your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. All right. That's everybody, I believe. Thank you, everyone live in the studio. Thank you, everyone that's going to catch this on the podcast. Once again, this has been another exciting episode of Sewn and Rooted with your host, Kimberly Collins, the Educated Natural. Thank you for being here. We will be live again next Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you want to find out more information about me, go to my company's website at www.sewnonpurpose.com. We are there to help you build your creative masterpiece. We thank you for being here. Until the next time God allows us to come together one more time, as I always say, be sown, be rooted, and be blessed. God bless you all.